an auction going on with cars. Kind of like a pound, but then they resell the cars. So you didn't do good, so we sold your vehicle, right? At Allied Universal. My friend Daniel used to clean those types of vehicles by hand. He's an actor too, but he would clean, do what's called detail. It's called detail work. Clean them all day long. I don't know where he is at now, but he was in a film of mine called The Projectionist, which Hollywood absolutely loves now. And he was in The Projectionist, and he played the character Adair Martin, right? So they were gonna produce it, but instead they decided to produce the sequel to Silver Linings Playbook. Bradley will take it, right? The reason why I keep my eye out on the police officers is because when I see a thief, I kind of go like this. You know, what in the world? Because that person's stealing. He's stealing from your family, from their family. He's stealing from everybody. And he carries a lethal weapon. He says, it's my way or the highway. I got the handcuffs to prove it, right? You take away his lethal weapon, then he'll quit because he's not going to have a way to kill people. And what does that police officer do? Well, for the remainder of his days, he sits on that right here, his throne. He sits on his throne. He takes a big poop for about 20 years. Eats a bunch of donuts. I christen myself no longer Silverleaf in Dungeons and Dragons. So I go with Goldleaf.
Turn left onto Sidewinder Trail.
The reason I chose Goldleaf is that sign right there. The golden leaf. Gold leaf. You kind of see it, but someone's birthday party was right over here. So I wanted to make sure that we
turn left onto Maiden Lane, then turn left onto Sidewinder Trail.
To these people right here that live in that house. What a happy birthday they had today. Maybe the pastor of the church can go in there and steal their children at the end of the birthday. Wouldn't that be sad? Sorry, I have to go in there and steal your children and your wife. You know, you didn't pay up on the birthday bill, so we're taking the kids and everything. So that'd be sad. A pastor comes in, steals your family on the day of the birthday. Shoot, most guys just break out a FAMAS or HK7, psst, psst, right? SR25 through the head, kind of thing. Full metal jacket.
Turn left onto Sidewinder Trail.
Full metal jacket, baby. Full metal jacket. Full metal jacket. That is what a bullet is called. A bullet is called a full metal jacket.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Sweetwood Drive.
That's what it's called. Sounds it out. You get that full metal jacket. You put it right in the gun. That's what full metal jacket means. It means a bullet. It's the actual single bullet that you put into the cartridge. And then you put it in your little machine gun and go steal a family. See,
turn left onto Sweetwood Drive, then your destination will be on the right.
I'm near Sweetwood Drive. I'm on the Please Subscribe show. It's got on national television just for doing work. Guy's famous now. Sweetwood Drive right here. The house is covered up. You can't see it. The Addams family lives in it. Okay, so we're headed down this way, and it kind of has me going in the right direction. Kinds of things get me the. It's like open garage kind of thing. Looks like a serial killer lives in there and gets online and preys on people. It's called a police officer. All right, moving on this way. I don't know where they have me going.
In 400 feet, turn left onto Navasota Circle.
I know that's not the case because I'm on the right road. So I'm on the right road, which is not Melanie. Oh man, this doesn't make any sense right here. This was saying, I think it's, what is that saying though? I can't even see. Oh, Sweetwood. Melanie.
Your destination is on the right.
Yeah, it keeps telling me that. But it's in the 21s, not the 22s. So I'm kind of going around this way. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I finally found it.
Head west.
There's like a American gay flag right that way. I don't know if that's what kind of flag that is really. It's a weird looking flag. Man, that's a loud beep. Yeah, when you got the sound on this phone, it's a deafening beep. I know it's not that loud to you, but to me it's deafening because it's the sound of me having to go back through on the editor, go back through on the iMovie and cut that little beep. You know, it takes more time. So Dungeons and Dragons, go out there and play, dress up like an elf, listen to Leonard Skinner, run around, maybe dress up like a fighter, an elf, or a wizard, spellcaster, run around with canes, fake swords, and little bean bags, so when you cast a spell, you throw it at the other guy. Let me explain something. I want you all to know this. It's not going to make any difference at all if you get somewhere any quicker. So if you're behind someone going slow, just slow down. You get in there a day quicker or 2 days earlier, it's not going to make a difference. Somebody like that lady right there, she even honked at me. And I was sitting there looking at this stimulus check thing. Like, don't honk at people. You're not going to get there any quicker. It's not going to matter if you get there a day earlier. You're still going to be at a red light sooner or later, right? It's not going to make any difference. You're sitting there getting behind somebody going, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to make any difference. So just chill, you know? It doesn't matter if you get back from 7 or 6 or 6 or 7. I mean, it'll make a little bit of difference. Maybe it'll make, just honk. Just honk. You know, just honk. Who cares? Maybe you'll get there quicker. There's 2 different points of view. There's this point of view. And there's that point of view. Right? Outside of the glass. And there's that point of view where you don't even know there's a car. Or you don't know it's a car. Not completely. Right? There's all different points of view on how you can do things. Right? You can do it easy, you can have perfect sound, or you can just do it, right? It'll make sense eventually. Eventually, it'll all work out. And there's your mansion, right? Right there. A little birdhouse. But no matter what you do, you end up a musician or a filmmaker or actor, a historian, writer, filmmaker. You always want to pick up the Bible and read Mark 4. It's a great little section of the Bible. Mark 4. Ready? Mark 4. Cut. So I'm from Fort Worth. That's over there's my hometown. I was born in All Saints Hospital. Probably like I don't know, close to the early parts of the 70s. I'm 47 now, so you can just do the math. You can't see the date, but 47, born in the 70s, All Saints Hospital, Fort Worth. Head right to North Richland Hills, where once the North Richland High School had what's called the Rebels and the Dixie Chicks. They were called the Dixie Chicks or something like that. Dixie something. They were high kickers. They're called the Dixie something. They were high kickers with the name Dixieland in it or something. The Dixie somethings. They were the Dixie whatever. It won't let me recall it. But they did have a Dixie flag. It was a battle flag. It was a rebel flag. And they made them change it. So it's no longer the Rebels, I guess, the Richland Rebels. I went there for a while. Then there's the Buffalo, Haltom Buffaloes. It's not racist, but they'll probably change that one too because it's racist towards the Native Americans. So there's the Buffaloes over there. I went there for a few months, and some gang members were wanting to kill me and all this stuff at the cafeteria. So I left Haltom and I ended up in Fort Worth and Pascal. Now, before all of this, I actually went to Keller, so I was an Indian. So I was an Indian, I was a Richland Rebel, I was a Buffalo, and I was a Panther at Pascal, RL Pascal High School. Same guy that Taylor Sheridan went to, who wrote Hell or High Water. So I had 4 mascots. And then eventually, after I graduated, I went to Wesleyan. I think it's a ram or something. It's like a goat or a ram or something. Then I left Wesleyan, Texas Wesleyan. I went to, he's not going to get there any quicker. But anyway, I went to UNT, which is an eagle. So all of that transformed into an eagle. And then I left, I went to Hollywood, then I went to New York. And I went to a new school. I don't even know what their mascot is. I don't know if they had a team. They were more like a social research group, like a university. It's where Sean Baker went, who did Florida Project. He studied editing there, and I studied acting at a thing called the Actor Studio. It was a program within the new school university. They ended up moving to Pace, probably because of me. But they were at the new school, and the new school housed Marlon Brando. They taught Marlon Brando because Stella Adler went to the new school. She was a teacher there. And James Dean was connected to the New School University in New York. It's in Manhattan. So I left there. I came back to Arlington. I went to UTA. And I studied pedagogy, or basically education. And I studied there for quite a bit of time and almost got certified to be a teacher. So I would be a teacher right now, but I didn't have a credit card at the time. So there was a class that required a credit card to take a certain class. And the teacher failed me because I didn't have a credit card. Because you had to have your own web design to be a teacher. You had to create your own web design. Mine was 50 pages long, and she still failed me anyway because I didn't have that credit card. So I decided, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to finish this? And I became homeless for one day. My friend Danny, who is the brother of Johnny Whitworth, a movie star in Hollywood, he was in Empire Records. Well, his brother Danny picked me up. And then eventually I was going to take a Greyhound to LA. I was about almost 30. And then my sister got me an apartment in Crowley, and I moved to Crowley. That's where I met my first wife, Sarah. And she introduced me to David Lynch. And I guess she was on radio. She was a radio lady. She studied radio. I got to meet David Lynch, and she introduced me to James Patterson, who wrote a bunch of books. James Patterson wrote a book about a spider or something, Along Coming a Spider or whatever. Wrote a bunch of books. I met James Patterson. I didn't get his autograph because I'm a Stephen King fan. But she got his autograph. So I met James Patterson. And then I used to hang out with James Lipton in New York before he died. He edited stuff. Been around the Actor Studio kind of thing. Why am I doing this? I don't know. It's like a continuation of maybe the Actor Studio in a way or whatever. Actor Studio on the road or kind of thing. Talk about Alec Baldwin, you know, gets on the radio so you can pay him money. It's not about money. So now I'm dropping off pizza for people. I use the term food for friends, and I'm really talking about like Uber Eats or Postmates and things like that. Because I have to have some confidentiality in what I do. So call for assistance. Kind of in between Richland Hills and Haltom. I'd probably say you could argue North Richland Hills. North Richland Hills. And they've got this artist that's going around painting things on objects. It's real revolutionary, as you can see. It's like a Buddy Holly type of character. Kind of see him right here. Oh, it actually says Buddy Holly. Oh, I guess it's Buddy Holly. That's North Hills? Yeah, it used to be North Hills Mall. They tore it down and put an Arby's there. Those North Hills Mall, we used to hang out there like punk rockers and listen to The Cure. People would get in fights and stuff. But they tore it all down. It's a big field. So it's not there anymore. It's like all the punk rockers went, they tore it down. They tore it all down. You know, like the Statue of Liberty and that Planet of the Apes thing. Kind of see it right here. Probably just go in and see if they have it. Get cramped up in this car. Drives you crazy. Yeah, this was North Richland Hills. It was a mall. And they just flattened it. There was so much crime at that mall. People like fighting other people, selling marijuana and acid. It was all right here. Yeah, well, I don't know. But they tore it all down, so they didn't put another mall or anything. They just left a big field there. I saw Full Metal Jacket right there, where the mall was. About right in that area, there was a movie theater inside the mall. My friend Sean and I, who's Scro, basically we snuck in. We asked these people, say, hey, listen, if they come in and tear us out of the movie theater, because we were like 12 years old, they said, Scro goes, hey, would you pretend like you're our parents? What's how do they say it? Will you pose? Well, you pose as our parents, right? Will you pose as our parents? And they were like an older couple, like in college, like a young couple. They said, yeah, we will. We'll pose as your parents. We sat there and watched Kubrick Full Metal Jacket at 12 years old. We were about 12, underage. It's pretty young to see that kind of film. That's pretty much when I became anti-war. Because, you leave Full Metal Jacket, especially when you watch it in 35 millimeter and you watch it on the film, you leave that film thinking, I don't want to go through that kind of hell. I don't want to, become Section 8 and kill my drill sergeant. Hartford. Right? It was Hartford, right? Gonham, or whatever his name is in the book. The real book is called, or the real story is from a thing called Short Timers by Gustav. The sound. It's like Gustav Hartford or something like that. No, it's the sergeant's name. Gustav. You think of a town northeast is the name of his last name. Gustav is the first name. He wrote Short Timers. Same character as Joker, Gomer Pyle's in it. They changed the sergeant's name to Hartford or something like that. Hartford or something like that. They changed the sergeant's name. They also, Cowboy was different. It wasn't the same as in the book. They changed a lot of stuff. There was a sequence where they hunt out the NVA or the Viet Cong, the VC, with a BB gun. And they cut that too. And also the drill sergeant says thank you in it after he's shot by Gomer. Basically, they changed the short story or the novel. I think it's a novel. It's Short Timers by Gustav. It's his first name. But they changed the novel to a Full Metal Jacket. Well, they changed it into a movie. Changed the novel and the adaptation of the script and turned out Full Metal Jacket, which I think they left out some important parts of what Gustav was talking about as a writer. Kind of robbing him in a way. And Kubrick only went for the realism. He didn't go for the dream sequences and all the zany parts of the novel. If you ever read it, it's called Short Timers. But anyway, that's for the first time I saw Full Metal Jacket in that film. That right there is called Moxie. It's a photography studio. One of my ex-girlfriend's Victoria, who has a child, or son. I think I don't know if she's a lesbian now or whatever she's doing. She does hair. Her father was a photographer. We dated for a while. He was like one of those photographers that do kind of like Owen Mills, or they're photographer. They're like, they do like family portraits. You go like J.C. Penney's kind of photographer kind of thing. Did that for like weddings and things like that. In the end, it's all about Bill Murray. Like the last face you'll see, probably somebody's last face, or someone's last image would be a picture of Bill Murray, kind of looking at him. So when I was a teenager, about 16, I had a leather jacket. It was my first leather jacket. I bought it at a place called Moda in Dallas, and I had to go back and buy another one later. But I love this leather jacket. It had like these little silver buckles. It was a motorcycle jacket. It was black, kind of like James Dean would wear, or something, whatever. Or Sid Vicious. Right there, it says Auto Detail State Inspection. That was a car wash in the late 80s. Probably right before 1990. 1989, 1990. You can kind of see that it's still a car wash today. You can see some of it right in there. But my leather jacket, I left it there for about an hour. I drove off. I washed my car. I had a Cavalier. It was a red Cavalier. And I drove off. And when I came back, it was gone. And I got so mad, I went home and I took a chair, a dining room chair, and I smashed it against my mother's dishwasher, denting the dishwasher. That's where the leather jacket was left. Right back there. North Richland Hills, I lost my leather jacket. I got really mad. Went home and busted the dishwasher. My mom was like, "Why did you do that?" And, it was really hard to repair a dented dishwasher. The front of it's dented. I was mad. I wanted that jacket. So my grandparents lived at Diamond Lock. This is Diamond Lock. You'll see the D and the L. And my grandfather was a World War II guy. He ended up making millions of dollars in the gold business. So he refined gold. Learned how to do it through a chemistry set. And one day, we think there may have been Latino. We don't know the nation. But they came into my grandparents' house. They actually came in from the back of the house. They had voice changers right here. You put a voice changer right here. And you talk like this. They told them to lay down on the ground. And they covered my grandmother with a blanket so there wouldn't be blood splatter. They also covered my grandfather, who was blind at the time. One time I think the police came there and arrested my grandfather one time. I think it was there. And the neighbors that lived there, they had shotguns. My sister jumped over the fence. Right there. She jumped over that fence right there. Not that fence, but it was a fence that was in between her and where the side of the window was. So it's another type of fence. But she was jumping out of the back window right here. Right there, the back. See that fence over there? She jumped that fence into this property to get those neighbors. Neighbors came over there, they knocked on the door, and they kicked in the door. Found my grandparents still alive underneath the blankets. The robbers, my father probably knows, jumped the back fence over there. That's all under construction right now. They jumped the back fence. There was a big gunfight that took place in the street because they stole about $100,000 worth of jewelry from my grandmother. They let everybody live. My sister lived, but she could have died jumping over that fence. I was supposed to be in the house. I had a broken leg at the time. They probably would have killed me. But I was at my mom's house because I was in a skateboarding accident. They were almost murdered. And there was a big chase that broke out. There was gunfire, and they got away. We don't know who they are. But they probably know my dad. The Diamond Lock robbery of my grandmother and my grandfather me, Mar, and Papa. That happened, I think in the late 80s, 1980s. A long time ago. True story. They were actually robbed at gunpoint. It's a home invasion. And they had voice changers, and they wanted to know where the gold was. They wanted to look under the house for the gold. Diamond lock is over that one. I was about 15 when my grandparents were robbed at gunpoint in their own home, the home invasion. But I wasn't there, but my sister was. I was about 15. Isn't that cool? I like that satchel on the back of that bike right there. It's very cool. My grandparents have passed away, so they no longer live in that house that I showed you on Diamond Lock. But they never caught the robber. Robbed someone, gunpoint, home invasion. It's a pretty big deal. I don't know what I would have done. I had a cast up to my thigh at the time.